Good afternoon, Facebook friends and family, and it's time for another Gumby Chronicles. I was thinking about my sister today and how I wish she'd been around to see the movie Wicked come out, because we always had kind of a running gag about the flying monkeys. And not only is it the backstory of Glinda the Good Witch and the Wicked Witch of the West, but there's all kinds of backstory on other characters, like the wizard and the flying monkeys. And there's a really cute scene, without divulging too much for those that haven't seen it, where Elphaba is just discovering that she may have all kinds of powers that she lived her whole life and never exercised. Without breaking into defying gravity, I kind of feel like that sometimes. I feel like I've gone 67 years and I'm only now discovering powers that, as Glinda says in the original Wizard of Oz at the very end, "Oh, but my dear, you've had the power all along." So one of the powers I'm figuring out I have, that I'm not really good at exercising yet, is teaching me all kinds of things without divulging what it is just yet. There is a stage, lots of stages actually, between not knowing how to do something and perfecting it. They often call the perfecting of anything mastery. So an archer that can just hit that target dead center, arrow after arrow after arrow, that's mastery. That ice skater that can do triple backflip, double axel, don't make me come up with any more words, but you know what I'm talking about. There's just the gymnast, that's mastery. But think of all the times they had to fall. I went to my first hockey game at the American Airlines Arena. I got to see the Dallas Stars and the Ottawa Senators, and no, I couldn't find the puck. All night I'm like, where's the puck? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? But I was really awed that those guys could hustle with that speed, chasing around a little vulcanized piece of rubber, traveling at such angles and velocity, and they're doing it on skates. I went ice skating one time. I was with a fellow that was much taller, so he just kind of drove me around the ice. It was fine. I never mastered the art of skating on my own. If I tried to roller skate, that wasn't pretty. See, I really am not into a lot of self-harm, so that incident with the sled and the tree, I just didn't take it up again. But when you think about it, there's a real awkward stage and a painful stage as you're trying to get the hang of anything new. Where's she going with this? I'm about to tell you. Patience. So one of the skills, being a recovering people pleaser, that I haven't mastered well, is the art of no. And I've told you, my life goes exceedingly well when I maintain balance and I do something nice and something new and something no. And I've been working like a crazy woman on the nice and new. I've done like a dozen new things in the last quarter that have been fabulous. But I'm still not very good at the no. I have less practice with no than almost anything I can think of, because it's awkward and it makes me feel terribly uncomfortable, and it kind of goes against how I've behaved most of my decades. I just always said yes, because that's what people pleasers do. It's not that we're so nice. It's that we don't want punishment and we do want approval. But mostly it's so we don't get punished, so nothing bad comes our way, so we just acquiesce to everything. I didn't figure it out till my 32nd year of marriage to Charles Lambert that I could have had my way a million times over if I just asked or stood my ground, but I didn't want conflict. And I was scared that he would be unhappy with me over some things, so I just kind of bottled it all up. So for those of you that are decades younger than Gumby and I, let me tell you, get your no on and figure out how to do it. You know, I think the two generations behind me, there may be three, let's not get into it, but the Gen Xers and the millennials, they just knew to know. I did not. I didn't even think no was an option. Like, I was raised in the 50s and 60s, and that meant do what you're told. I'm surprised we don't all have tattoos, right? If you feel me, drop me a heart or something, do what you're told. Speak when spoken to. I mean, this free will, what would make you happy, darling, was not in the conversation between parents and children. I didn't learn how to know. And the few times I have for my own survival have been liberating, but exceedingly difficult, and there were consequences. But now, I'm practicing. And I'm willing to go through the awkwardness of saying no, because I think it's really important. If I can learn it, maybe I can teach it to you for those that struggle with the same. And it's silly when it shows up. All of my years, I was you never call in sick. Like, you could call up dead, right? You could call up or have a family member say she's in surgery, but you didn't call in sick. That's just how I was raised. It's nonsense. I understand that. But it was a work ethic where no exceptions. So I had a bunch of appointments lined up for tomorrow, and they were all fun ones. My Pilates class, I love it. I enjoy it more than anything I do. It is so much fun. And a massage. And meeting a new prospect that wants to try on lip color. I mean, if you ask me, that's a play date day made in heaven. And it's perfectly lined out. I've got time to do all the things. What's the problem? And it's not smart, and it's not good for me, because it means traveling 30 miles in possible wintry mix. It could just be heavy rains. And guess what? I hate to drive in rains. I hate it. The way from here to there is either back roads with lots of puddle possibilities, or going right in heavy rain on our major interstate where people drive bananas. And it's scary, and I don't enjoy it. And so here's the thing. Look at me now justifying all these reasons not to do things that I like to do, instead of just saying, you know what, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun for me tomorrow, and I'm not going to, and I don't have to, so I'm not going to. But I still feel like I have to explain myself or justify or get permission. It's weird. And you know why it's so weird? I'm an amateur. I just haven't done it enough. Because I promise you, if you do anything, I don't care what it is. If you want to learn a foreign language, if you want to go back to school, if you want to learn a sport, I don't care what it is. If you do it enough and practice enough, you'll get good at it. I don't know how long you're going to have to practice. You could take up the piano right now and eventually get good at it. I don't know how many hours you're going to have to practice. You might be gifted and not know it. What am I telling you? Go practice the thing you don't know whether or not you can do. Find out. Go do it. Go do it. Give yourself a shot. Give yourself a chance. I mean, I know nothing about ice hockey, but it's worth going to see if I could be a fan. I don't know. I've only gone once, but it was fun. I'd be willing to try it again. I've been doing a lot of things alone that I didn't think I could do. It's not my favorite. I'd still love to go with Charles again. I'd still love to go with a couple of people that went to heaven on me, but you know what? We find new people, and we learn to do things solo, and we get through the awkward. Everything you do the first time is going to be awkward. Remember that feeling of the first day on the job? Ugh. I'm kind of grateful to think I don't have to do that again. I remember doing this. Doing a live video was the most painful, excruciatingly painful thing I ever had to do. But I knew if I wanted to get the word out about what I thought was so good, I needed to open my mouth. I knew if I wanted to motivate and encourage others, I'd have to get out of my own way. So, that's it. I am giving you permission to be awkward and to do the thing either you don't think you can do, other people don't think you can do, you don't even know if you want to do, go see. But if there's something you do not want to do, consider saying no. Some of you, it's going to take a little while to try that out. Let's go. Thank you for watching, because if you don't watch, I'm talking to myself. And now that's super awkward.